Every system claims participation is voluntary. That is what makes it legitimate. Choice is the foundation. Consent is the justification. As long as you can leave, control feels acceptable. But systems rarely announce when leaving stops being practical. Opting out sounds simple. Use cash. Use alternatives. Disconnect. Step outside the network. The idea survives because it feels empowering, a reminder that autonomy still exists, that freedom is only a decision away. In reality, opting out is not an action, it is a process. And every step in that process has been engineered to be uncomfortable. The moment you choose not to participate digitally, friction appears. Payments take longer. Services refuse compatibility. Discounts disappear. Verification becomes manual. Trust erodes. What was once normal becomes suspicious. You are not blocked. You are inconvenienced. In modern systems, inconvenience is the gatekeeper. Cash still exists legally, but try to live on it. Try to rent, travel, subscribe, work, or operate a business entirely outside digital rails. Every interaction reminds you that the system was not designed for absence. It tolerates it barely. Opting out exposes an uncomfortable truth. Alternatives are allowed only as long as they remain irrelevant. Digital finance reshaped infrastructure, not just behavior. Transportation, housing, healthcare, employment all now assume digital payment by default. Not as policy, but as design. If you don't connect, the system does not adapt. You must, and adaptation has a cost. Those who attempt to leave often find themselves rebuilding from fragments. Multiple accounts, redundant methods, manual workarounds, paper trails. Each workaround draws attention. Each deviation increases scrutiny. Ironically, opting out can make you more visible, not less. The system notices those who don't fit. Decentralized alternatives promised an escape. Peer-to-peer systems, self-custody, borderless value, for a time they offered something rare. Money without permission. But even here, the environment shifted. On-ramps became regulated. Off-ramps became monitored. Interfaces centralized. Complexity increased. Responsibility shifted entirely to the user. Freedom came with risk. And risk discouraged scale. True independence requires effort. Most people don't have the time, knowledge, or tolerance for constant friction. Systems know this. They don't need to trap everyone, only enough. Opting out works best in theory, not in practice. There is also a psychological cost. Social pressure. Professional exclusion. Subtle signals that you are difficult, non-compliant, outdated. Systems don't need to shame openly. They let norms do the work. Belonging is one of the strongest incentives humans respond to. Opting out threatens it. As programmable systems expand, opting out becomes less about money and more about identity. Access to services, eligibility for benefits, participation in markets, even movement. When money and identity merge, withdrawal feels like erasure. This is where the illusion breaks. A system that requires constant participation is not voluntary. It is compulsory by design, not enforced by law, but by dependency. When survival requires access, opting out becomes theoretical. The system does not need to close the door. It only needs to move everything behind it. Some will always resist. They will build parallel networks, informal economies, local systems, workarounds, layered on trust and proximity. These spaces will exist, but they will be small, fragile, easy to marginalize. History shows this pattern clearly. Every dominant system allows pockets of resistance. They are tolerated because they do not threaten scale. Until they do, the future does not eliminate opting out. It reframes it as an anomaly. A lifestyle choice, a risk, something undertaken by those willing to accept consequences, and consequences are powerful deterrents. The most unsettling realization is this: most people will not be forced to stay. They will choose to remain because leaving costs too much. Comfort is a stronger chain than fear. Opting out is not a rebellion. It is a test, a measure of how dependent a system has become. And in modern finance, dependency is nearly total. The question is no longer whether opting out is possible. It is whether it will still matter. Because a system no one can realistically leave does not need to defend itself. It has already won. This is Kiyo Documentary, and this is the truth about opting out. The exit exists, but it was never meant to be used.